everybody, welcome back to SharonCullenFineArt. I got a pile of boxes outside. I'm almost done with the unpacking. It's getting there. I still have some stuff to get up in the lofts over here, but other than that, I'm pretty much done. And I've got all these boxes emptied and outside on my porch. And today is another day of painting. We're getting snow today again. Yuck. I am so ready for spring, I tell you. It's supposed to be like low 50s here, I believe, on Sunday, day after tomorrow. And we have wind chills in the low teens right now. So it's so wild. I just wanted to cut in here real quick and let you know that the drawing for the giveaway will be at the end of the video. There will be 5 winners. 48 of you entered the drawing. So good luck to everyone, and we'll see at the end who the winners are. I'm going to go ahead and do another gouache painting today. I've just been in a gouache mood lately, trying to get my painting skills back up to where I want them. And, oh, my nail polish peeled off. And anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. I painted this little painting, this little 4x6 or whatever it is, about, I don't know, 2 years ago. And it was a fun little painting. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a bigger version of this, maybe a little bit different, but we'll go ahead. I'll do a tutorial on it, and we'll see. I can't get it to stand there. I'm going to have to tape it down because I got my table slope today. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do a different version of that. I'm using Strathmore mixed media paper, which is heavier duty than the regular mixed media paper. I'm trying to find it here. Let me grab it. Okay, this is it. It is, this is the tone tan paper. It's 11 by 14, I believe. Yes, 11 by 14. 184 pound. So it's heavier than your standard watercolor paper. And I love this paper. It's so nice and thick. Somebody on Gouache Sketchers page, he's a guy I know here from Michigan who assists, well, he's part of the Michigan Plein Air Painters group. His name is Robert, and he told me about this paper, and I absolutely love it for doing gouache painting on. And this painting in general, I'm going to try to keep the edges open and just kind of, I don't want to do a squared edge on the painting. So we'll see how it turns out, and let's just get going. Right here, I'm just basically drawing with an HB pencil, which is commonly the pencil of choice that I use. I like to use a harder pencil because then the graphite doesn't mix into the paint when I'm painting as easily. So I'll use an HB pencil quite often. And I'm just getting the trees laid out here the way I want them, and then I will go ahead and get started with the painting. Now I'm beginning by using ultramarine blue and white, and I'm just setting it on the paper and mixing it together on the paper as I go along. I'm using a Chinese hog bristle, and I forget what else is mixed into this brush. It's all in Chinese, so I can't read it, but they're those, from one of those brush sets that you can buy, the 3 Chinese brushes, the Sumi brushes together. And that's what that was. Now I've switched over to a smaller brush, which is a King Art brush and is called Precision. I have linked those brushes in a previous video when I was doing a unboxing video recently. Because this is tan-toned paper, I'm bringing the sky all the way down to ground level. If it was white paper, I wouldn't be so concerned about that. I'd fade it out to white. But in this instance, I can't do that with the tan paper. And I'm going to have a thinly wooded area in the background, so the sky will show through. Now I'm going in while that paint is still wet with a burnt umber with a gray color mixed together for these distant trees. And I'm not concerned if they go over the big trees in the front because I'll be painting right over that. Now I'm going in with the burnt umber and gray mixed together here, and I'm doing it while the paint is still slightly wet underneath so that it kind of fades into the background. And like I said in the previous video, another way to do that, excuse me, is to put more water on your brush so that it's thinner and therefore is a lighter value, but it would have picked up the sky underneath, because when you add more water to your brush, then your gouache will start lifting and mixing. So I had to keep it heavier. So I went in while the paint was still wet and allowed it to kind of blur together and causes it to go into the distance of the background. Now with the big trees, I'm using some black mixed in with some burnt umber to keep the colors dark, but I'm also going to be adding in other colors as I go. There will be some white, there will be some burnt sienna, as well as some yellow ochre that I'll be adding in, and some sap green to kind of give it a mossy appearance on the tree trunks. Now here I'm using a 1-inch flat silver black velvet brush. They also call them mops, I believe. But I wanted to use this brush because it does hold more water, and I can mix a lot of colors together real easily on the paper with the brush that I'm using. And it's a nice big brush. It makes it easy to get these tree trunks in real quick. Here I'm beginning to add in the white, the yellow ochre, and some burnt sienna to give more depth and character to the trees, as well as help those branches that I put on not look like they were all just painted on the sides of the tree. I add some darkness to the bottom of the branch when it's coming toward the front of the tree, and you can actually see the branch and where it's coming off of the tree. Unlike where it was before, it looked like it was just painted on the side of the tree. That is all done with value. You can be using different colors with a deeper value, or the same color with a deeper value, but you see how I made it darker down at the bottom, so it comes off of the front of the tree facing me rather than off of the side where it looked like it was before. I hope that made sense. Now I'm just mixing the colors here that I feel will go better. There's light coming from the right in this photo, as well as snow that will be going on there, but there's a lot of yellow ochre on the trees, very bright. I'm trying to match these colors, but I'm using different colored gouache, so it's kind of a challenge to get this color right. I think I'll need to dry brush some yellow ochre on this later, but adding a little bit of this rose color too. What is that called? Oh, and this is the G Squash, G's Finest. This is called Rose. And I like to use these rose colors on my trees when I'm doing shadow. I think it just adds a different look to the paint. Everybody's kind of got their signature thing that they do, and this is kind of what I do. It's done a lot with pastel, and I guess that's where I picked it up from when I used to paint with pastel all the time. I need to do some more pastel paintings. It's been so long, but I've got an oil painting that I need to do for a friend as well, and that's going to be what I need to work on next. It's huge. You guys have seen the canvas. It's enormous. It's a, I don't know, 3 or 4 foot canvas. And I'm just adding some branches and depth into this. Need a little more rows. There we go. And then a little bit of the yellow ochre for light. There we go. I'm just going to let that dry, and then I can come back to it again. That one comes down the back, not the front, so I just want to block that there. There we go. And let's see, I have a little trunk piece that pops out here. Get a little darkness on this area. My son and his girlfriend are coming up. We're going to celebrate her birthday, as well as Diesel's birthday. Diesel's going to be 11 tomorrow. I believe it's tomorrow and not today. I always get it mixed up. I think his paperwork says the 7th. Now, as I go over these layers, notice I'm getting thicker with my paint. My underlayers are more of a wash style. I still need to do a little more in the background too, I think, but at least here we've got this started. And there's going to be a lot of little branches coming off as well. This is the picture again. I can get my light off of it. There we go. That's what it looks like. And I'm going to work on this tree. Now, I'm wetting my brush, but I'm not really rinsing it because these colors all need to blend together anyway. So I wet my brush, but I'm not rinsing the other color out of it. Maybe a little bit of it comes off, but now, if you're left-handed like me, you should start on the right side and work left so that you're not dragging your arm through stuff. But I do that often. Now here, since the paint is dry in the background, I'm using more white mixed in with my paint in order to keep them at the same value. And I'm using thicker paint. Now you'll notice, or maybe some of you already have noticed, over on the right-hand side behind the big tree on the right, it is blue. And then I have my path going behind it in white, but that will all disappear later. You can't have your sky and your ground colliding like that. It just doesn't work right. So, but it will disappear. Now I'm going to go ahead and mix my shadow colors so that I can put the shadow from the trees down on the snow. There is one coming in across the bottom there that you can't really see. I apologize that I'm off frame a little bit. I still got to get my camera set up a little bit better, but the one on the bottom does not have a tree in front of it that we can see. It's coming in from off the edge of the painting. The paint is still a little bit wet here, so my color is kind of blending in with the white. But I kind of like that look, so I continue with it because then I can go in with deeper values and add more branches, and it just looks more natural to me. Now here again on the left, you're going to see me put a branch in, and it's going to look like it's coming off the side of the tree right there. But then I bring it in and I add deeper value to it, and now it's attached to the front of the tree. Now I'm going to add darker branches to the front now that the snow is completely dry on that bush. It'll be a lot easier now. And then I'll add some more bushes in the background, and I have to add shadowing on the snow still for the path. Now I'm going in with a rigger brush to put in more fine branches on that bush. Now I'll go back to the trees and I'm going to touch up some of the light, and I still need to add snow, but I'm going to cut some of that out because I don't think you need to see me do the trees over and over again. I'm just using a cheap angled brush here, about 1/2 inch, just to finish up the snow on that tree. Okay, well, I removed the tape and then I realized there are some things that I want to change here. First of all, the shadowing. I'm just mixing some cerulean blue. My stuff's flying away here on me. Oh, just dropped the brush. 2 brushes. I have some cerulean blue on here that was used in the sky, which I wish wasn't so dark, but I'm not going to go change it now because of the trees being there. I'm adding just a little bit of white to this to tone it down, but I wanted some shadowing for on the snow. I think that that would be helpful. I just want to show the indentations in the snow and stuff like that. That's still too dark, I think. Remembering that gouache will darken, a lot of the colors darken. So make sure you're aware of that. And if you forget and you put your color on too dark, then or too deep in value, then just go over it again. Make sure it's dry first. Or you can take a color and just blend the color in by making it a little bit wetter. If you want to go on top, then you go thicker. So I wanted to get a little painting time in, and I thought redoing a painting that I've done in the past, and I do like this one better, and the way it turned out, I like it better. I don't know, maybe I'll just make prints of this. I don't know. We'll see. But in the meantime, I just thought I'd mess around with this a little bit and have some fun with it. And it's like a study, a large study, but it's a study. And I'm remembering things and learning things and stuff that I've forgotten over time. You know, after not painting for a year, it takes a while to get back in the swing of things. It's not like riding a bike. You do have to practice a little bit. But I do appreciate all the compliments I received on the painting from yesterday and on Instagram, and you can follow me there at SharonCullenArt to keep up with everything that's going on. You'll see posts of paintings that I plan on putting on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, as well as some of my other personal things. But I didn't post that I wasn't happy with the painting in order to receive compliments. I received so many compliments on the painting, and I really appreciate it. That was so nice. I wasn't fishing for compliments, but it made me feel better receiving them. So I thank you all for that. Okay, so now we are to the drawing. I had names put in this little bowl, and they weren't going to mix up well. So I have this planter. It's actually a hanging planter, so you're going to hear chains. But I have 48 names. I don't know if you can see this with I have 48 names in here of everyone who wanted to participate. Now, a few of you did not write down your states that you lived in like I asked. So I'm hoping you live in the country, because if you don't live in the country, then I'll pass your name up and I'll go on to the next one. Unless you want to pay me for the shipping, which might not be worth your while anyway. But anyhow, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw 5 names, and each one of you will win 1 set of the Gouache. I should make sure that there's 5 sets. They told me they were sending 5, but I didn't open the box. So I should get the box to make sure. But anyway, so just so you're aware, once I announce this, I want you to notify me. My email will be in the description box down below, and you can go ahead, email me your address, your name, your address, and let me know that you were one of the winners. But I'll know because I'll have the 5 names, so that doesn't really matter. But if you don't respond to me before my next video comes out, then I'm going to move on to the next person. I don't know how else to do that. So I will post the video, and then actually, let me say, if you don't respond to me by Sunday night, this coming Sunday night, then you will not receive one of the boxes, because they're going to mail out Monday morning, and if you're not responding to me, I'm going to go on to the next person. So anyway, let's get started. I'm going to mix all of these up, mix them up, and I will choose my first name. I got like 3 of them in my hand, I think. There we go. Okay, the first winner is Alina Martinez from Florida. You can see this. I wrote it down there. Okay. The next one is Bev Sullivan from Massachusetts. Congratulations to both of you. I've known Bev for years. She's followed me on this channel. Okay, the next one is Carly Patterson from Michigan. Congratulations, Carly. I think I have one here. Yep. Okay, the next one is Elizabeth Baumier from Hilton Head, South Carolina. Congratulations, Elizabeth. That is 4 of you. Now here is the last one. The last one is Victoria from Nevada. So congratulations to all of you. I'm going to go grab that box right now and make sure there are 5 boxes there to give away. So hang on. It took me a minute to find the box, but I did find the box here. And no, it's nothing for you to open. I have one. Whoops, that one popped open. These are all sealed in plastic so that you know that I'm not using these and putting them back. See, they're all sealed in plastic. I just dropped something on the floor. So there's one. Let's make sure there's 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes, there are 5 boxes here. So I'm going to get them all out into the mail next week, but you have to respond to me by Sunday. This Sunday, which would be, let's see, today is Wednesday, the 11th, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that would be the 15th. So respond to me by Sunday, March 15th, 2020, and you will receive your boxes. Again, the winners are, in random order, Carly Patterson from Michigan, Victoria from Nevada, Elizabeth Baumier from Hilton Head, South Carolina, Bev Sullivan from Massachusetts, and last but not least, Alina Martinez from Florida. Oh, and by the way, my name is Sharon, not Shannon, but that was cute anyway. I've been called a lot worse, heck. Contact me, emails down below, and I will get those boxes out to you. Congratulations, everybody. Take care, and remember, be courageous, paint with wild abandon, but most of all, be kind to each other. Bye.